Good morning to Brazil. Good day to all viewers of Global Edu Leaders Forum Conference. This is the first day and second session. The topic based on education and sustainability. We have been keep talking about education and sustainability from the year back. Right now, it is time to discuss about few innovative practices regarding education and sustainability. This is the second session where our respected speakers, Dr. Doris and Professor Nada, along with other educators, those who are joining online from the different location, will put light on the topic. So on a very humble note, Global Edu Leader Forum is a forum of intellectuals where we discuss, where we share our good practices. And so far, we have been connecting 21 countries around this global platform. Sustainability, saving nature, either it is air, either it is water, either it is earth. What has been the natural resources due to the development process? A number of things has gone in a different direction, which is not acceptable at all for coming future generation. So it is our sole duty. All natural resources must be preserved. Our eco balance need to be made. And on this topic, we have invited today's speakers. A lot of papers have been submitted from the different part of globe, including all active speakers of the Global Edu Leaders Forum, those who are throwing lights on the topic. So on a very humble note, I hand over, and once again, I welcome to Dr. Doris, Professor Nada, Beatrice, and Ashish Anand, who is a special educator from APS Jammu on the screen. So Professor Nada, over to you.
Yes, thank
Welcome
you.
to you.
Thank you. First, I want to thanks for the invitation for this first global conference on education and sustainability 2023, organized by our great Dr. Beatrice, our great Dr. Singh, and by our amazing academicians from the universities de Aveiro. I'm very sorry that we didn't go to Portugal, but we have this opportunity that we are still here and we can have this lesson online. This topic is very important, especially when we are talking about here in Europe. We last year we have a year beautiful, sustainable together. In Europe, we were we our year was a new European Bauhaus. We tried to put in our schools in the future a very creative interdisciplinary initiative that connected the European Green Deal, which is about the living spaces and experiences. Also, it called all to imagine and build together a sustainable, inclusive future, which needs to be beautiful for our eyes, for minds, for our souls. Beautiful means for all the places, practices, experience that are enriching. First, we are saying enriching, inspired by art, culture, responding to the needs beyond the functionality. Second is sustainable. What it means sustainable? It means that it needs to be in the harmony with the nature, with the environment, and with our planet. The third is inclusive. Inclusive is encouraging a very special dialogue across all the cultures, disciplines, genders, and ages. So it connected whole together in this new European Bauhaus. And I can say that our future really needs to be beautiful, sustainable together. If we are talking about the schools, talking about the universities, this really imagine very creative learning environment for the green and inclusive schools. So we work on so many projects in Europe on e-twinning. We work on the Erasmus project, and we make classes to classes virtual exchanges experience. In education, we put so many new digital tools, talking about the emergency tools, talking about artificial intelligence, blockchain, ChatGPT, and all what we have. So the results are different. We want to create environmental awareness to our students, to our youth. At the same time, our students gain their digital competences. They ensure that they will participate in different types of education process, and it means on an effectively way, consciously, and we expected that for the sustainable future. Now, I will stop here. I can talk a lot. We can continue later. Today, my honor to moderate this session, to be here. Once again, I want to thank, and it is my honor to invite our first eminent guest speaker expert. She's well known, Dr. Doris Hernandez Dukova. She's coming from the UNESCO. Dr. Doris Hernandez Dukova, she's a doctor in education with the emphasis in organizational leadership from Nova Southern University, United States of America, with a postdoctorate in international education from ITES Game, Mexico. She's a master in education from the Universidad de Sale, Colombia, electronic engineer with specialization in microelectronic production technology from the Technical University of Sofia, Bulgaria, a specialization in mobile telecommunications from the University Caldas District, Francisco Jose from Colombia. Complementary training. She has a complementary training in leadership for the Latin America, Panama, educational leadership and management, Chile, normalization standards, University of the Quality, Spain, curricular design by the competencies in the context of the higher education, Argentina, evaluator of quality assurance system of higher education. So that is our well-known Doris Hernandez Dukova. So we have an amazing academician here, and we cannot wait to hear her because her specialization, her knowledge is really here. What I read, that is nothing what she will present today to us on this first global conference. Welcome, Dr. Doris. Enlighten us, enrichen us with your speech and presentation.
Thank you very much for this invitation, especially for Mr. Singh and Professor Beatriz. It's a great pleasure to meet you again and stay here in that important event. I will share my presentation. Can you confirm that you can see?
Yes, it is visible. It is great.
But I don't see.
We see it. It is great. It is on the first slide that you have the poster. So can you try
Yes.
to move the presentation? Can you try to move it?
And now?
It's not moving. It's not moving. I see only the first slide, the poster.
Yes, I think that I have a problem with this sharing screen. Excuse me a moment, please.
No problem, no problem. So we have this beautiful poster till you share. We want to thanks also to our great, amazing Dr. Elizabeth Pereira from this University of Aveiro, to Dr. Maria Emilia, Dr. Christina, and our Dr. Luis Miguel. Our Dr. Luis Miguel, he is walking through Indonesia. He's having a great tour. We are seeing that he is also enjoying. Dr. Doris, still nothing.
No, see
You
nothing.
have a problem. You have a problem with sharing.
Yes, I think so. Excuse me one moment, please.
No problem. You can try again, maybe.
And now?
Okay, so please, if you can try to put a full screen. Now we see the slides.
Yes, I understand that I must to do this, but if I put it on our whole screen, I can
Okay,
change
no
the next
problem, no
slide.
problem. You can go then through this, so I will say if the slides are not moving or moving. You, okay, you can try to start, so we will see.
Okay, I will start my presentation, but here is impossible to. Now you can see the next slide.
Yes, we can see the
Yes,
benefits on
I must to move it
this way.
one by one. Yes.
Okay,
It's
no
impossible
problem.
to organize in other manner. In other manner. Well, I will start with my presentation. First, giving the thanks of this invitation is very important for the collaboration. As I see the collaboration between Europe, between Asia, but also with Latin American countries. And it's very important to connect the different countries and the different continents. And for me, it's important to highlight that now I'm representing three different institutions. First, I'm the CEO of NGO Alianza Colombo-Búlgara, is the association of Bulgarian and Colombian universities. Now we have around 22 universities in our network. Second, I am graduate from a Technical University of Sofia, and now we participate in a big project that is the European University of Technology, and we have research in the line of educational and cultural innovation for global network. It is a very big and very interesting project led by Technical University of Sofia. And finally, we here in Colombia are the national contact point of the program UNEVOC from UNESCO. This program is about develop and the capacity and knowledge around technical and technological levels of study and the connection with medium studies in schools and higher education and the other levels of education as master degrees and doctoral degrees. It's a very important program for UNESCO because allows the recognition of credits and not only for credits, for a transfer of learning of outcomes, much more from the basic knowledge of the disciplinary fields. It's very important program for UNESCO. Our learning community for middle classes try to connect these different types of networks that I mentioned, and the Alianza, the project, the European project of Technical University, and also the program of UNESCO I am representing now. And we organize these interactions in 3 levels by our learning community for middle classes. Here are very important to highlight that the initiatives we organize are in 3 levels. In level of participant, a student or teacher or a graduated or also managers of higher education institutions. The second level is the meso level of institutions and is related with the planning of the student and teaching process, and for other side, with the national policies for quality education of higher education systems as whole, as ecosystem. It's very important because, as Professor Nada mentioned, I am an evaluator of quality assurance in Ministry of Education in Colombia, and sometimes the higher education institution declare in his projects one or 2 or 3 different outcomes related to international education that is state from UNESCO. But when we will go to see how they do it, they know no strategies, there are no projects, and there are no assessment of the impacts for the curriculum. Is the second level, the level of meso institutions, and it's very important to connect the micro level in the classroom, both virtual or face-to-face, and connect to the policymakers in national educational systems. And the third level is the level of the network, like we have by our community, connected different kinds of educational systems, different kinds of for education and planning the learning activities, and assist the competencies with our students and our graduates have. In this level, in this moment, we have the participation of 42 higher education institutions from 12 countries, and we expect by the mediation of Global Education Forum and Global Education leaders to reach more education and more countries and more continents, and to strengthen the relations and the collaboration in this project that are in benefits of our students and our teachers also. Our methodological mark is around the comprehensive internationalization. It's very important because after the pandemic,
Dr. Doris, are you changing the slides? We are on the methodology.
Excuse me.
Okay.
Here is I will speak some words about these results. The slide is about not is about numbers, but about to invite the participants in our conference here today to think about the possibility to connect the different levels of interaction of our learning and teaching process, to use the evaluation as method to connect and to dialogue between the different schemes of teaching and learning. And here in this slide, I want to mention two very important initiatives for our network, the Learning Community for Middle Classes, because these initiatives are the base for formulate new project or increase the number of benefits of the project that we just developed. The first is the use of language, because here in Latin America, the use of English and Portuguese is very limited, and we want to highlight the importance to improve our linguistic skills. And we organize a master classes around the languages. We have 4 different slots of languages. The first, naturally, is the English as a language that is global and the way to understand all over the world. But also we have the master classes in Portuguese, also in French and also in German, because we want to increase the collaboration with European countries, especially using the programs as you mentioned, Erasmus, Horizon, Marie Skłodowska-Curie Actions, Actions Jean Monnet, and others. Is the first, the use of language and the importance of to develop linguistic competencies and linguistic skills. And the second is very important also, the name is Intercultural Dialogues. It's also we have 4 slots, different slots. One is one of the same line as UNEVOC UNESCO program, like the internship and also the equal of gender. Is these terms is very they are very little has very little attention in some projects, educational project in higher education institution, almost here aquí in Colombia, but in other countries that participate in our learning community for virtual classes. And we have some initiatives that promote the participation, for example, of women in STEAM careers, like engineer, like mathematics, physics, statistics, etc. Our initiative has 3 very important recognitions here in the American countries and the American continent. The first, we has the recognition as good practice of internationalization of higher education. We have in Colombia, the Ministry of Education has a digital repository with good practices for all kinds of aims of higher education, like capacitations, research, innovation, etc., etc. And these kind of networks like ours are important because connect different types of education. Like as mentioned, medium, technical, technological, higher education, and master degrees and postgraduate options for to make a career in, for example, some research topic. And the description of this initiative is visibly to all people that um, can consult the ESALC forum. This initiative was presented as the great experience in the ESALC forum last year. One of the two experiences representatives from Colombia. The second is very important too, is the Latin American Award for Innovation in Higher Education. We has around 40 initiatives about connection between formation in higher education institution and social transformation of communities, rural education, etc., etc. Here from this slide and from this link, we can download the document and the links with each and initiative that I mentioned. It's very important. Some of them are institutional, but most are from our learning community for middle classes. And I think that Professor Beatriz can share this link in the site of our conference in order to have the access and review some of the initiatives and think how you can reach our teachers, our investigators, our researchers, and start to work together. And the first, the third, excuse me, is the prize we received from UN Global Engagement. This prize is about the initiatives that organize the transfer of good practices, because in some project it's not enough to have the results, but we also have to method or to strategy to share it with all benefits, not only direct, also indirect. We organize the work in learning community for middle classes around 4 themes. It's important to highlight here the organization of the participation of higher education institutions, the programs that offer, the research project, the project around the extension and social immersion of some of these results here in Colombia is very important, because it is part of the assessment of the quality of the internationalization. Is very important here in Colombia. We have a database with all participants and we connect it. We make a matchmaking between different groups of interest, stakeholders, etc., etc. The second is the organization of the virtual meetings each Wednesday. It's very important the constancy in the participation, because some of the projects have are for 2 or 3 years, and it's very important to know the results of the stage before and the stage we go to in order to harmonize the organization of the contents, the organization of the transmission of the results, etc., etc. The fourth group is a training plan. Is especially for that professors and that teachers that are new in these innovative methodological methods for teaching and learnings like COE, like Miro class. And finally, we have group that in the project, in European project, are in aim to evaluate the impacts of the project for each indicator in each institution. It is the task of monitoring the activities, also establish some joint indicators and present the reports to the Ministry of Education. We have here in Colombia a system to report these results named SNIES. This means system for monitoring of results of internationalization of higher education, and also to connect these results, the results that we report for the ministry, with our inner indicators for mobility, for agreements, etc., etc. I will present the conclusions in each of of the three levels I mentioned before. Capacity building in individual level, such improve of the strategies for teaching, learning, and assessment. It also improve the proficiency in other languages like English and Portuguese. Also, we has the certificates for the participants, both individual and both institutions, and it is very important when we organize the accreditation, especially as processes as ABET, as IVEC, etc., etc. In the second level, we have the capacity building for institutional level. Here is important to highlight the planning of teaching and learning processes as a part of institutional planning. We here in Colombia named it needs plan in order to assign the resources, both economic, financial, and also human resources to develop this kind of project. And the third level is about the capacity building in network, connected different interests, different kind of programs. Here in Colombia, we have a program like Erasmus with three countries in the region, with Mexico, Argentina, and Chile, named MACA. But it's very new, it's very has lack of experiences, and we want to share some experience with Erasmus, and has the similar schemes to recognize the grades and learning outcomes of the curriculums. This kind of project also allow to organize joint academic productions. We have some publications like papers, like chapters of books that has the description of the different initiatives, the number of benefits, the number of possibilities to organize new projects, etc., etc. And finally, I want to highlight that um, this participation has a significant importance for a quality of alliances, both for CGA 4 and CGA number 70. Finally, in the presentation, I will present our bibliographic references about international education as a framework for comprehensive internationalization of curriculum in universities. And once again, I want to thank you for this invitation. I hope that you can analyze this kind of initiatives. We have a bank of initiatives for this year. There are 42. We expect that the next year we will have most of your proposals here, and we can work jointly to make it reality. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Doris. Thank you for this wonderful presentation, for this wonderful speech on the topic, the benefits of virtual academic collaborations. Really, you emphasize the virtual learning community first for the mirror classes, explaining us, giving us the methodology about the virtual learning community in this CACA, like you say, which has the 52 participations, giving this weekly virtual meetings, making these meetings virtual, giving and showing us the results and discussion. We are really happy that we can see that you are working a lot with different countries, giving so much meetings, more than 100 meetings you held with the recording, delivering this to the experience, a lot of master classes for the language, because as we hear that the problem is with the English language. So many master classes, language days, intercultural dialogues you make. Then what is the recognition of the good practice of internationalization? We know that collaboration and communication between the organizations, universities, faculties, is really crucial, and you give us a good practice of internationalization in the curricula. For us, very important. And talking about the innovation in higher education with the Latin American award you give on the what is the what and what type was of the working of the groups. There were 4 groups, as you say, which first all groups have their tasks. The first group manage and organize the links between them. Second, make this organization really virtual, making the virtual meetings, coordinating that. The third was organizing the training plans. So each one team, the 4, as you said, monitor all the things which are carried in the community. So this is really an important topic, very important for the individuals, for the institutions, for the networking. We want to thank you once again for giving us this and for sharing this with us today. Thank you so much. So, if Dr. Singh, Dr. Elizabeth, Dr. Beatrice want to say something about this, because Dr. Doris really She gave us today so many ideas, so many important things that we really need to do together.
I think Dr. Doris, you have touched a very, very important point. Technically, this requires a systematic approach. Other than we can just abstract in the mind. So we have to go through a process, time taken, but I think the result is guaranteed.
Yes, it is possible. We can do that. It needs time, but I think that it will have great results, as Dr. Doris already make this and have amazing results. So we are moving forward. We have here an amazing, another eminent, great speakers today with us. He is well known, Mr. Fernando Pio Vesana. More than 20 years of experience in financial services industry. He has lead teams in financial controlling, cash flow management, financial management for great global tech companies such as Groupon and Farfetch, and is also passionate about supporting people in vulnerable situations, serving as the vice president of IHF, a nonprofit organization which provides mental health and social protection services to over 30,000 people in Sao Paulo. And his current role as a founder of the BioRest, Fernando is building a company that is creating the future of materials for plastic industry, which products the organic, recyclable, 100% biodegradable, and made from industrial and agricultural organic wastes, aiming to reduce the environmental impact of plastic production and consumption while also generating social and economic value for stakeholders. Welcome, respected Mr. Fernando Pivesena, and enlighten us today here on the first Global Conference of Education and Sustainability.
Thank you so much. Can you guys hear me fine?
Yes, great.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. I appreciate Professor Nada. I appreciate the invitation for participating in this conference as well from Professor Beatriz as well. And good morning from Brazil for everyone there. Good afternoon for those who are in India and in other parts of the world. And thank you so much for having me here. And it will be a pleasure to take the next 20 minutes of your time here to just present what we have been doing here in partnering science with entrepreneurship for helping the world here in Brazil mostly, but we want to move abroad in the next years as well. So we are hoping that we can help a little bit out with in all the countries here and globally with the plastic pollution and what we have been working here in Brazil. Thank you. Can you guys see my screen here?
Yes, it is great.
Okay, thank you. Well, let me just thank you for the introduction here, but I want to just point out some things, some extra things other than what you have mentioned. Other than the founder of BioReset, which is a startup here in Brazil that is working in the plastic solution problem. I am graduating business administration. I am not from the academic area. I'm not a professor and anything like that. I am an entrepreneur and I'm passionate for innovation mostly. I have worked, as you said, with Farfetch and Groupon and Spring Wireless in the past in the finance areas as a controller. And other than that, in my personal side here, I am a guitar player, a motorcycle rider, and passionate for traveling and for being in nature. And that's why I have that's what inspired me for starting this project here with BioReset. So I want to show to you, excuse me, a little bit of what has inspired me in doing so. Let me just know, please, if you can hear the audio, because I'm going to play a quick video for you guys to show what has inspired me. Can you hear the audio?
No, we cannot hear the audio.
No?
No. You
Well,
needed
anyway, I can.
before sharing, you needed to click on sound.
Okay. Anyway, I can share this video on YouTube as well. I can send it to you guys after, and I can just like go through it and just telling a little bit about it. But this is a documentary. It's called A Plastic Ocean, which tells a little bit of how the plastic pollution is affecting nature and all the sea creatures and birds and everything that is related to the sea areas of the world, and how the plastic that is thrown away and cannot reach recycling centers is destroying nature mostly. So this Plastic Oceans documentary was released, if I'm not mistaken, in 2015 or so, and it describes that. As you can see here, they are a bunch of divers and professors and studiers that take nature and environment into consideration and have researched a lot of how the plastic pollution is affecting the nature and environment in all matters. As I said, this is called a Plastic Ocean, and I encourage you guys to take a look at it. It's on YouTube and in other platforms as well. It was Netflix at least some time ago. But according to National Geographic research here, a fast facts about plastic pollution and how it affects nature. So 18 billion pounds of plastic flows into ocean every year. So that's a big problem, that because, as you may know, plastic cannot biodegrade at all, and it will be sitting in nature or in landfills for centuries once it's disposed. 40% of the plastic produced is packaging, so it's used only once and then discarded. In the United States, they use almost one plastic bag per day per person. While in Denmark it's 4 plastic bags per year only per person. Nearly half of the plastics manufactured has been made since the 2000s, so we have been increasing the plastic production year after year. At this time, China and the rest of Asia produce most of the plastic that the whole world consumes. Less than a fifth of all plastic is recycled. That's important because recycling is undeniable. That is a very important trial that we are giving here for solving this problem, but it cannot be really efficient in doing so. And nearly 1 million plastic beverage bottles are sold every minute around the world. And as I said, it's all packaging, so it will be used once and then discarded. And about 8% of the world's oil produced is used in making plastic. So the problem here is we make things that are useful for a few seconds and will become useless for hundreds of years while sitting in nature and in landfills. We make single-use items from indestructible materials. That's the real problem. So we have to figure out how to make those things out of materials that can be really that can just be used once and then disappear and not cause any problems for the environment afterwards. And how far can plastic go? If we leave Brazil here and we go to the middle of the Pacific Ocean in the Henderson Islands, we see that we are more than 3,600 miles away from the nearest coast and the nearest civilization. And what we see there, what we expect to see at last, is a pristine environment, a very clean environment and nature. But once we get closer to it, it's one of the most affected regions of the world in terms of plastic pollution. And why is that? We, around the world, we have many gyres that are really sinkholes that pull the all trash and everything that is floating in the ocean to the center of it, and they make a islands of plastics, as you may have heard about. Those are called the ocean garbage patches. We have one in the Indian Ocean, was discovered in 2010, while they were searching for Malaysia Airlines flight 370. That's a curious fact. Another one is the North Atlantic garbage patch. That is huge, and it was first seen in 1972. And the biggest one is the North Pacific, near to the region, the North and South Pacific, gyres here, and the garbage patches. That one in the South Pacific is where Henderson Island is. And they are the biggest ones, and they cover a huge amount of the ocean there. 1.7 million square kilometers, and 20% of the waste is emitted from the ships. All the rest of it comes from the land. That's a curious. And if we take in consideration only the garbage patch in the North Pacific, it has the area of Spain, France, Switzerland, Italy, and Germany combined. That's a huge amount of plastic, amount of garbage that runs over kilometers, thousands of kilometers away. And what we expect to see there is like a soup of plastic. So most of it is floating above the ocean, but some of it is sinking and affecting the life under it. We have been increasing the amount of plastic that we have been using and throwing away here, and it's forecasted to be even bigger year after year from now. And if we keep like this, by 2050, we can have more plastic than fish in our oceans. And most of it would be plastic bags, plastic bottles, food containers, and everything that is used only once and then thrown away. So historically, in numbers, from 1950, when we started using single-use plastics, 8.9 billion tons of plastic were produced, and more than half of it is accumulating landfills in nature. Worldwide, the recycling takes care of only 9% of all this plastic. In Brazil, this rate here doesn't even reach 1.5%. It's a huge problem. Even though the companies say that we are recycling more and more, only 24% of all the plastic that reaches recycling centers is in fact recycled and comes back to the industry as PCRs, the post-consumer resins, as we say. That's due for the difficulty that we have from sorting apart different types of resins and cleaning them from contaminating food or other things that are with them. So the thing here, as we are thinking at BioReset, we need to change the input of the industry instead of the output. It's very difficult to change the mindset of the people that use the plastic containers and the plastic packaging only once and then throw it away anyhow, just not caring if it's going to be recycled or not. So what we decided to do here is to give that to those persons that cannot care about recycling some kind of plastic that, if thrown away in the wrong manner, will be biodegraded in a few months in the nature. Some of the solutions like that have been fought in the past. You may have these in your countries, the straws that say that they are biodegradable. Here in Brazil, they are a huge part of the straws that we use. Even though they say they are biodegradable, being biodegradable means that it can be eaten by a bacteria or any microorganism and turned into energy to that microorganism. That's not what happens with those kind of plastics. They are, as we say, oxy-biodegradable. This is just one example here that happened in Brazil. This kind of food container here, they say that it's 100% biodegradable, but once we get to the website of the very company that makes it, They have a report here that says how this is biodegradable. And if we go to that report, we can see that only 29% of it's biodegradable, not 100% as said in the marketing. And how do they do that? The oxo-biodegradable materials, they are regular plastic from fossil fuels mixed with additives that make they break apart. So once they get in action with the environment, in oxygen and with water and so, they will break into smaller and smaller pieces, which can also not solve the problem, but increase the problem many, many times. Because once we get to the powder of plastic here, it will be impossible to take it out of the environment. And those are the microplastics, the famous microplastics that we hear about. And some of those microplastics, they come out of the industry already as microplastics. So to be a microplastic, it means they are particles of plastics lesser than 5 millimeters in size. So glitter, the very pellets that are used by the industry to make the plastic materials, they already are microplastics that are very difficult to take out of the environment. Once those microplastics reach the streams here and get to the oceans, the fish will eat it. We will eat the fish, and those will cause many, many health problems here. It's estimated that every person in average in the world consumes 1 credit card of plastic per week. And this can cause many, many health problems as well. So cancer is related to plastic consumption and everything. So thyroid disorders, diabetes, obesity, asthma, breast cancer, and many other kinds of health disorders here. So what should we do? Say no to plastic. That's very difficult because the plastic industry is way too important for us to just get rid of it. In Brazil, for instance, there are almost 11,000 companies that depend on plastic to work. More than 300,000 people that are direct employees for the plastic industry here, and we consume around 8.2 million tons of plastic per year. For every 1 million reais here that is added to the plastic industry, 3.35 million are increasing the economy. The GDP in Brazil increases 1.3 million, and there are 29 new jobs created. So it's a way too important industry to just ban plastic from Brazil, for instance. What we can do here is work with this smaller part here, up to 1 year of a lifespan. What we have to think is not how to ban plastic, but how can we make sure that we use plastic for what it makes sense. There are law incentives here in Brazil and in the US and other parts of the world as well. I heard of many law incentives in the European Union as well that incentivizes the ban of the plastics, or at least the reduction of it. In Brazil, I'm sorry. Okay. So in Brazil, there is this law project here that is in place in the Senate that is trying to reduce the use of plastic, limiting it for only things that are long-term in lifespan. So everything from straws, from packaging, for plastic bags and everything will be prohibited to be made of plastic. That will not be applied to compostable or biodegradable materials that are made from renewable sources. And also the oxy-biodegradable materials be banned by this law project here. And this is what has been seen by us here in BioReset. We have been working towards that with what we call the next generation of plastics. What we have seen here is plastic. As many of you may know, It's not a material, but a characteristic. So the word plastic comes from plastikos in Greek, ancient Greek, and it means that something that can be shaped or molded. And there are many materials that can be shaped and molded in nature. For instance, here, bioplastics that can be from renewable sources and also biodegradable. What we have chosen here to work with the PHA. PHA, they are polyhydroxyalkanoids that are totally biodegradable in any natural environment, including marine environment where most of the problem sits. And they have the lowest greenhouse gas emission in all plastic when compared to all plastic resins here. And this is one test that we have here. We injected PHA with the very same mode and very same machine that was injecting polypropylene, a regular plastic, and then burned it for 3 months, and it has biodegraded a lot in that time frame. So PHA, polyhydroxyalkanoids, they are produced in microbial fermentation. They have nothing to do with fossil fuels at all. It's a totally organic, highly scalable material. We also here in Bioreset, we use waste from the food and beverage industries when producing that, because what we have to do is mostly feed some bacteria to produce this PHA. It's totally biodegradable and biocompatible with the human organism, and it has a lower melting temperature than conventional plastic, which means that we can even reduce the energy consumption when working with it. The total production of bioplastics today in Brazil or worldwide, as I mentioned, only in Brazil, we consume more than 8 million tons of plastic per year. And the total production of bioplastics today is 2.2 million tons. So it's very far away from tending to total demand that the plastic industry has. But we are working in increasing this offer here and the production of it worldwide. So our solution here is just to make this PHA from organic waste from the industry and then formulate it into bioresins that that are similar to the plastic resins that the industry is used to work with, and then close the cycle here within the clients. For instance, we have been working with AB and Bev here, the beer producers, in using their brewing waste to make the packaging and the plastic resins that will be used in the packaging for other products that they have. And this is one unprecedented initiative worldwide. And we want to just mimic what the petrochemical industries do. So instead of using oil and sugar derivatives for making plastic resins that are not biodegradable and end up in 90% in average to be sitting in the landfills in nature for centuries, we want to give to those very same plastic industries an alternative of PHA-based resins that will be used in the very same manner that they use today, with the same machinery that they use today to make their products that will, at the end of the line there, will be biodegradable naturally in 6 to 12 months and get rid of or at least solve a part of the plastic pollution that we have. As a track record, we started in 2018. So far, we have worked with 4 acceleration programs here, 2 of them with Braskem, that is the owner, basically, of the plastic market here in Brazil. The other one with AB and Dev, and one with Plug and Play, allied to the Alliance to End Plastic Waste. We work with the academia here with the help of FAPESP. FAPESP is one government entity here that funds projects like ours. And so far, we have invested more than $500,000 in this project, and we are running a seed capital round now to increase our production capacity and go to the market with this solution. And how we are going to, we are betting in 2 and 3 ways to bring the costs of the PHA down. As you may know, if you heard of PHA, you may have heard that it's a very expensive material today. But we have 3 ways to reduce this cost of producing it, and so take it to more competitive price than compared to fossil-based resins. One of them is to use the waste from food and beverage industries that will reduce a lot the cost of production for this PHA. The other one, we have developed our own proprietary equipment for making PHAs here. If you ask any researcher in the area here, what we need to do, what's the kind of the equipment that we need to have for producing PHA, they will say it's a bioreactor, which is the very same equipment that is used by the pharmaceutical companies to produce vaccines. So it's very, very expensive. We have adapted our equipment here and have lowered the cost of the capex here, the equipment, in more than 80% when projecting and making our own equipment. And the third one is the solvent-free downstream. So for purification of the PHA, most of the companies that exist today that produce PHA, they use solvents, which is a problem because the solvent itself is very, very expensive, and it requires a sophisticated plant to recover the solvent to be used again. The other problem is that for working with solvent, we must have a explosion-proof facility, which is very expensive. So we have developed 4 protocols so far to not need to use solvents when we purify our PHA, and so it can bring our cost of production and capex down as well. And as I mentioned, I am not from the academy or university and anything like that, but we have in our research team here 2 doctors and post PHAs that work with us here and are very experienced in this area, in bioprocesses and in PHA itself. We have Giovanni here as well, that is a specialist in manufacturing and industries and everything. And in advisory board here, we have people that aid us in finance, legal, and processes whenever we need. And we have been broadcasted here in a few programs in TV, and we have been appointed by GoPHA, which is a global organization that supports PHA worldwide, to be the first manufacturer of PHA in the region, in the Latin America region here. And you can see, I invite you all to visit our websites to see other mentions that we have about Bioreset in the media as well. And that's it. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate the invitation to be here today and to talk to you guys. And I leave here my contacts, my email, my telephone as well. I'm very open and free to talk to you guys whenever you want to chat a little bit more about sustainability and new materials. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, respected Fernando. Thank you for this outstanding presentation about this the Bioreset. We really today, starting from the statistics and talking about this plastics, what is happening in the United States according to the countries in Europe from 2000 year, how the plastic is manufactured, what is in the world happening, what in Asia. So these percentages are really, I can say, when we listen this, we cannot believe that this is the true, but you bring us the truth, talking about this, that less than a fifth of all plastic is today recycled globally. explaining us the garbage patches. Honestly, I never think about this and I didn't know that. So I'm really thankful for learning this. The Indian Ocean garbage, the North Atlantic garbage patch, and this Great Pacific garbage patch, and how it is going and floating this plastic through the world, this garbage patches around, and the microplastic, and the data that you say that if we keep like this by 2050, we may have more plastic than fish. This is really terrible when we hear this number, and how many billions tons will be produced since 1915. So we are talking about the sustainable development. We are talking about this. We are talking about 2030. Now we are already coming to 2050. So uh, we know that this recycling is helping us, but we need more solutions. As you say, we need to put it input. We need to change the input instead changing the output. So what is biodegradable? What about the fossils? What about the products which are made by the microplastic? Your amazing team, and you explain us, and we are thankful that you give us this awareness about the plastic, about the health, about the this, and why the plastic industry needs to continue to be important, and how to make this according to the law in Brazil, and what about the next generation of plastic. So we will sure contact you. We will sure contact you because we have here so many things that maybe we will want to hear, we want to learn more about this. So according to plastics, bioplastics in this product, and how can we bring this prices down. Thank you so much. So if our
Thank you so much.
amazing organizers, thank you, want to ask something, please, we can ask Mr. Fernando about this very crucial topic for us. Okay, so if we don't have no questions now, maybe later, because we need to summarize all this. We have so many new data that you gave us today. So we this about what the media, what we can do. But now I want to invite one very special person also. He is one of the organizer, and I can say because our Eski Singh couldn't come to Portugal, we are online. But I hope that the next time we will have opportunity, and the embassy in India will be more heartful and give us our Eski Singh the visa for moving out from India. So we will continue praying. I want to introduce him. So our Mr. S.K. Singh is a principal, GD Goenka Public School from Bhubaneswar, India, a master trainer of the CBSE New Delhi, a research person from New Delhi, a member regional sports committee, national coordinator of All India Edu Leaders, of the CBSC Principal Forum, Advisor, Mentor, Gulf Council, Advisor, Mentor, International Society, for founder of the chairman of the Global Edu Leaders. So the Global Edu Leaders are here, all, the whole team. He's a awarded professor. He gets so many awards, honors, Best Teacher Award, Al Khazama International School, Saudi Arabia International Award for using the technology in Hindi language, Sikh Shaman. So many awards for the Principal Educational Leadership Award by IIT Delhi, Dr. APG Abdul Kalam Award of Excellence in New Delhi. so many awards and appreciations as a trainer and speaker at the Prestige Edu Forum. And if we talk about him, we want to say that he's also an amazing personality. So, uh, please enlighten us today on this amazing first global conference on education and sustainability.
Thank you so much, Nada. It was somehow a very high speech. I'm a very simple human being who believes in practices. And normally, a practices should start not from brain, from heart. As for a global leader forum is concerned, you all are the real stakeholders of this forum. I'm the only person who connects the dots, and it become a beautiful garland. It become a beautiful necklace. It become a beautiful galaxy of all intellectuals connecting from 21 countries, including India, Brazil, Croatia, Japan, Greece, Australia, UK. What is my sole concern? After listening to all speakers, I will conclude this all within 5 major points, which I look for in number of practices we are doing in life. Our life is dependent on the nature. Our life is dependent on the air and water. So who will take care of the air and water? Political system will take care, industries will take care, government will take care, or we should take care. If your heart is working and needs oxygen, you don't have manufacturing of oxygen everywhere, and people cannot carry the oxygen on back. So the sole question, if we are not aware of, if we are not making other people aware, this journey of sustainability remain incomplete. Whatever we have today, this is the gift of nature. This is the gift of our ancestors. And day by day, we are destroying it. You have seen the beautiful presentation. You saw the situation of the natural resources. He was talking about the water. How about the soil? How about the air? So these 3 major concerns, air, water, and earth, this can be preserved only by awareness and practices. This awareness leads to practices, and these practices will lead to sustainability. So I would like to take 5 key points how we can approach, how Global Edu Leaders Forum is taking this lead. It is a one drop of ocean, but we have started. I would like to show a presentation where we look. Can you see the presentation?
It's coming, not yet. We see it, but
Okay.
not a full screen.
Okay, just a second. I'll put it at full screen.
Okay.
Okay. Can you see this? This is the poster of the
Great.
conference.
Great. Yes, we see now. Yes,
Okay.
wonderful.
My heartfelt again gratitude to Beatrice, who has taken this lead. My heartfelt gratitude to Professor Elizabeth, hosting this conference from Portugal. Madam Maria, who has been always inspiration. Wilma, who has been helping us. Dr. Luis, and Professor Nada, all viewers of Global Edu Leaders Forum. It is our sole responsibility to lead towards practice. We have ample knowledge. We knew that this knowledge is incomplete without practice. So what I will be talking, what was the objective of the Global Edu Leader Forum? Global Edu Leader Forum objective was connect the individuals at one platform where they can discuss, where they can dissolve, and where they can start practicing things. So my first key point is you must feel a global citizenship. You do not think it is your problem or your country problem. If the air is polluted in India, it will affect to other country. If the air is polluted to Europe, it will affect to Asia. If this is polluted to Asia, it will. So entire continent which is connected with the sea and water has the common goal and common problem. So let's develop a thought process. Being a good citizen, citizenship means responsibility of the society. And this responsibility of the society need to be shared. It should not be just kept at one place. Try to understand, if I have a knowledge and I do not practice, how the knowledge is going to help. So now the whole world become the global. And this global campaign need to be taken care. So you must feel the whole earth is ours, and we all are responsible for the nature, for the air, for the water, and for the earth. So this is the first key point. Second key point, develop a sense of compassion. The fishes are dying. All natural insects are dying due to use of heavy pesticides in the food organs, in the agriculture field. Air is being polluted because of the high carbon dioxide of the motor vehicles. Now people have started moving towards the electric vehicles or CNG vehicles. Compassion, if someone is dying, you must feel that pain. Some people not able to see, some people not able to breathe. So compassion means feeling of others' pain. And this is globally required. Once you feel others' pain, you are sitting, we all are sitting in different country, but we are discussing about a common goal. We are discussing about a common problem. So this is the example of cooperation. If I do alone, I can do little. If I do together, it can be a beautiful effort and many things can be resolved. So my gratitude, my heartfelt thanks for being member of Global Edu Forum, for participation, for going to review or see this program on the social media. So this cooperation is needed and we have started practicing. Collaboration of 21 countries on the Global Edu platform is the real example of cooperation. Finally, we have to find out the way and means of critical thinking. Sustainability cannot be achieved without the right approach towards the right thing. For example, I will tell you, if I keep thinking, I have to only create the awareness. No, awareness will not work. Practice is important. If you are sitting in a room and you need a light, you put it on. If you are going out of the room, stop, because this is energy. Same thing, entire pollution material, not to bring, reduce, reuse. And last point which you take is leadership. Leadership is nothing, leading by example. Professor Nada was explaining very well. These all practices are required by global citizens, not by individuals. Here, the leadership is important. Why it is important? Because we have to lead. We have to make the people follow it. So if I conclude my talk, let's move from policy to practice. Let's move from brain to heart. Let's move from thoughts to process. And these all are required to act upon. And I conclude my last point. If in this world, if this 5 point can connect all of us on one platform at one place, why can't we take it further? This is all which I wanted to convey. Let's join together. Let's take this lead, and nothing is impossible. Things are very, very much possible. I have not reached to Portugal, but still we are talking. Still we are discussing. Problems cannot stop us. Problem can just give a break. Problem, because sometimes it empowers. No, we have to do in advance. Sometimes it gives more energy. Professor Nada, I'm really thankful. You remember my approach and my problems not reaching to Portugal.
Yes.
But still we are carrying out our objective.
Yes.
I'm thankful, Madam Elizabeth. You have also tried your best to have it on the Portugal, but we are damn sure not today, but tomorrow. No one can stop us, and we will get success in our aim and objective. This is the small initiative. Still the journey is left. So take your first step and move forward. This is all. I'm thankful to all speakers, all participants, all paper presenters, and the viewers, those who are going to watch this show. Your emotion, your investment of the few seconds is most important for us. If you are going to listen, we are going to talk. If you are going to join us, we are ready to participate. And I'm sure if we all participate, things will happen. Who is United Nations? You are United Nations. I am United Nations. Awareness is United Nations. United Nations is nothing artificial intelligence who can solve all the problems. They can impose, they can give directions. So all global speakers, all global listeners, participants, and those who are going to get inspiration from this will be the real thankful blessings for God Almighty. Thank you so much, and get connected.
Thank you. Thank you, respected SK Singh, for this amazing words at the end of the conference. You really gave us the key points of this first global conference on education and sustainability. Really, this what you marked: the citizenship, the compassion, the cooperation, critical thinking that we need, and talking about the leadership. I think that all our speakers were giving something new. We will continue with the cooperation with this great Europe. We have all, I can say we have all the continents. We are really globally connected on this Global Edu Leaders Forum at Portugal, at this at University of Portugal. We are thankful to our Dr. Luis, to our Professor Pereira, our great Beatrice, who was really taking this and giving this and bringing a brilliant, outstanding conference on this high level. Dr. Beatrice, we are proud on you. And we have here Professor Ashish. Maybe you want to say something today here at the end, please.
Hello. Thank you, Dr. Nada. Thank you, Professor SKC. Jamu, thank you. Professor Elizabeth, thank you. Bye-bye. See you tomorrow.
Ashish would like to say something. Mr. Ashish Anand.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Good evening, sir. Good evening from India. This is my first time I have been part of an international conference, and it is very insightful for me. And I am looking forward for my paper presentation tomorrow.
Great. Congratulations to you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
So till tomorrow, stay safe, stay healthy, and let us continue growing and
Thank
learning
you.
together.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
Victory photograph from last. Yeah. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Thank you. Thank you all.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.